Hello everyone and welcome to the Utopia of Nerd News, where we have nerd news for you every Saturday. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam.
And we're going to start off with game news like we always do, so let's get started.
Alright, so I don't have a ton of news this week, so you're going to get a lot more Sarah than you are Adam. But this is probably my biggest category. In the first little bit of news, the Xbox One will have a mode they're calling like the Reputation mode, which is kind of a cool idea. It's so like if you're playing online with people, they can like vote like up or down on basically if you're a good person to play with online or an annoying person. So that way they can kind of categorize people with what rank they are. So you play with other people who are nice, or you can play with other little kids that whine, or things like that. I think to help out with some of their bad reputation that Xbox obviously has with their online community. Pretty good idea.
Yeah, they kind of have that right now. You can go into like the friends and stuff, and then go and like see if you've played with someone before, and you can give them a reputation thing. But
right, but this is like almost it's not the first thing we've heard of people trying to do things like this. Elder Scrolls Online is doing their big online server, and it's subcategorizing by whether you want to be a PvP person, PvE, a little bit of both, you know, whatever. So I guess it's kind of like that in a way. They did say that it's going to be kind of foolproof, and so like if some jerk basically starts writing a bunch of people down that either they didn't think were good enough, or if they just want to be jerks and just write people, oh, they're bad, that's not going to affect it. I don't know how, because like, well, they said like it'll be a long-term thing. If for a drop, it'll be a longer-term drop. Like it'll take longer to help counter that. But there's going to be a lot of jerks on it. You know, they're notorious for it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it works out well, because it's a good idea in theory. Because I really like I can't play shooters and stuff because the people annoy me to death. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea too. I mean, just like you were saying, that would be a concern of mine, is just some jerk just coming by and like, I'm gonna make sure that everyone, you know, like, gets on the bad side.
And in our next little bit of news, the recently released, or at least fairly recently released, indie game State of Decay, which has become very, very popular. I believe it's an exclusive to the Xbox. People were really wanting multiplayer. This game would work really well with multiplayer, but the people behind it basically came out and said the way that the game mechanics work, we unfortunately won't be able to for this game, but if we have future games, which they probably will, because this one's super, super popular. I believe it's the only game right now it's more popular than Minecraft Online.
Wow.
As far as the indies go. Granted, this was just released, but so it's very popular. So State of Decay fans, you get online maybe for your next game, but
yeah,
enjoy single player for now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 13. I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 12. I think that in recent years, they're not horrible games, but Final Fantasy's definitely taken a dip from their golden era, right?
Yes, they have.
I think most people will agree with that, most people that have played all the games, at least. But there's going to be some pretty cool news for Final Fantasy 13 Lightning's Return. They announced a pre-order bonus, right?
Okay.
But this may be one of the coolest pre-order bonuses ever.
Alright, tell me.
Lightning will get Cloud's outfit, his Buster Sword, his bracelet thing, his big metal bracelet thing, all as a pre-order bonus. But it also comes with something that's so cool. You get the old fanfare, like after the fight, the spinning the Buster Sword, putting it over the shoulder, and it has the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So cool. It is so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. There's a video, we can throw it in the description, that just kind of shows it off. It's just a really cool thing, you know?
Bringing back that nostalgia from Final Fantasy.
Or as they put it, the most epic outfit in the history of Final Fantasy. Which I don't know if I'll quite agree with that, because Vincent's is pretty awesome. But Cloud's is still very cool, very memorable. It's his soldier outfit, because he has a few different ones.
Yes.
So that's the one that they're using, which I'm fine with. That's the original one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Another little thing, NetherRealm Studios creative director Ed Boon was asked in a tweet, like, alright, we got the 4 DLC characters that said there was going to be for Injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be more? And he said yes.
Oh.
That's it. He didn't say who it was going to be. He didn't leak anything, but he said there will be. Definitively, he said yes. He didn't say maybe, could be. He said yes.
All right, so more.
Martian Manhunter, still not on there.
Come on. Come on.
Were you a big fan of the Walking Dead video game? You didn't play it, but...
No, but I'm not a big fan of Walking Dead anyway, so...
Well, you should get the game, because it's really good. It's a lot better than the TV show. But there was kind of a thing. People knew about it. It wasn't super popular and whatnot, but it's kind of like a post the video game in between their kind of season 1 and 2 for the video games, because I guess they're going to do like another game series that's going to be like the second season. But that's not the news. The news was that little like halfway game, it's called 400 Days. We knew it was coming, and they literally came out this week and said we have a release date, and it's like this week for everyone around the world. So it's already released. It's out there. You can go ahead and pick it up. So Walking Dead 400 Days. A lot of people thought that The Walking Dead was maybe Game of the Year last year. Granted, last year was a little bit weak on the Game of the Year category because Mass Effect messed up. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that. So that's the thing. It's out there. If you're a big fan, if you enjoyed the first little 5-chapter thing, there's a new one out there for you. You can go ahead and pick it up. Something that may be my favorite bit of news this week. I don't think anybody was prepared for this kind of a thing, but Final Fantasy X HD will come with a 30-minute movie-esque cinematic that will add to the ending of Final Fantasy X. And it's being written by Kazushige Najima, who was the writer for Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, and the upcoming Final Fantasy 15. So he's obviously a very good video game writer, because there's some of the best stories in video games in that list that I just read off.
Oh my goodness.
So a 30-minute cinematic with all new voice acting and all that kind of stuff thrown into it. So if you were like, I already have Final Fantasy X, maybe HD is not enough to make me want to get it, the HD release, well, there's a 30-minute ending added to it.
Worth it.
It's pretty awesome. And my last little bit of video game news is Tales of Xillia 2, which is already out in Japan, was announced in Paris at the Japanese Expo, that it will come out in Europe next year. They didn't say anything about North America, but it wouldn't be too surprising if they're already going to be paying for all the stuff to westernize it, that they were bringing it to North America. Maybe they'll wait until after Tales of Xillia's release here August 6th.
They could also be waiting, to see how it sells in Europe. I mean, if they're...
Maybe some do that, but Namco's never done that strategy before. I think maybe it's just because it was a regional thing. They were in Europe. So hey, Europe, you're going to get it next year. It's not going to be too much of a stretch if we hear in a week or two, or after Tales of Xillia is released, oh, it's coming to North America, which I hope happens. Tales of Xillia looks really good, and we should be reviewing it. So, moving on to movies, there's really an empty week with movies. So I just wrote a few little things. The first one, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who's been paying attention to the DC movies, that Christian Bale said in an interview definitively he will not be Batman again. Which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody, but those people who were refusing to listen to reason and were adamant that he will be the Batman in the Justice League movies, he will not. He said it himself. He's like, I'm done as Batman, I'm gonna pass my cape on.
There you go. Well, good for him.
Yep. And another thing, with Comic-Con just around the corner, obviously Marvel, last year they announced Ant-Man was going to be a thing, and they showed the like little armor clothing, and they had like the video trailer to show off kind of what he could do in a movie to give you an idea. This year we don't know, obviously, their big announcements because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
But they did say that they will have the cast of Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Thor the Dark World both there at their own things. So that's the thing. A lot of people are kind of anticipating a Doctor Strange reveal, similar to the Ant-Man one. I wouldn't mind more Guardians of the Galaxy talk, personally. Yeah.
Time for me to go to Comic-Con to go see Thor.
And in our last little bit of movie news, were you a fan of the first two Hellboy movies?
Yes, I was.
Me too. Well, Legendary Pictures is basically almost kind of hinted at that if Pacific Rim, which is Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman, the two main people with Hellboy, if it can make a lot of money, they might be interested in doing the third one that they've had ready to do. They just haven't had the funding because the second Hellboy movie bombed in the box office, which it shouldn't have because it was a great movie. So yeah, I know it costed about $200 million to make Pacific Rim. It's a very expensive movie.
Right.
So everyone go out there and see it.
Yes.
So one, that movie can be a thing, and two, we can get Hellboy 3.
Yes.
Because we need Hellboy 3.
Hellboy 3, we need you.
Yeah, and there was also some trailers and stuff, but really it was stuff that looked bad. Like one about a porn star.
Oh jeez.
One about a stripper.
Oh jeez.
Those kinds of movies. There was a theatrical trailer for an animated movie, but if you know what a theatrical trailer is, it's literally just being like, this is what it's gonna look like. So it's not even worth really talking about, I don't think. So that's really it. Well, I suppose there's TV show stuff, but I ended up not writing anything down because with Comic-Con around the corner, all the TV stuff is basically reserved to what shows and what actors are going to be at Comic-Con panels. So if you're really interested in whatever show, you're pretty much going to get every show on television, whether it's premium or network or whatever, if it's at least a little bit nerdy. You know, I know Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, anything basically. Yeah. You can go look those up yourself. Sarah's going to go now.
Yeah. Alright guys, so obviously there's a bunch of anime news going on because Anime Expo is going on like right now as we speak. Yes, right now. It started
When?
July 4th. Yeah, right now.
When?
July 4th. It started on July 4th. It's going to July 7th, and Funimation had their panel July 4th, and they announced a lot of things that are going on. So they have an English cast, an English dub cast for Blood Sea, which I'm pretty sure is connected to Blood Plus, if you've seen that. It's kind of a vampire-esque anime. And that one, like I said, is called Blood Sea, and it's The Last Dark. And there's also a movie coming out. It's called The Wolf Children, and it's going to be English dubbed as well. And it will premiere at OkeCon, which is at the Baltimore Convention Center in Baltimore, Maryland. And it'll be this August 9th through the 11th. And yeah, what did you think of that trailer?
Furries Unite. It looked very furry. It's about a woman who goes to school, falls in love with a guy. The guy turns out to be a werewolf or something.
A wolf, yeah.
They have little wolf children. It's very furry. Outside of the furriness, though, it seemed pretty decent. You know,
Yeah.
it seemed worth a watch, definitely.
It looked adorable.
Yeah, the art style is definitely, they didn't go with like the high detail res stuff. They went with kind of like a more of a loose looking, which didn't look bad by any means. It just not the high detailed or like a dark and kind of thing. It looks very kind of almost. You think it'd be kid friendly? I mean, it's hard to. Probably, but there's points where it almost seems kind of hard to tell. Like it could if they wanted to make it worse, but it's mostly based around this mom raising her two wolf children,
right? And
her little furries.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're saying, it's hard to tell sometimes in trailers, if it's kid friendly or not. But it did look good. You know, definitely, like you said, worth a watch. So look forward to that one.
And if you want to see the trailer to compare it with our thoughts on it, it will be below in the info section.
Yes, check that trailer out. So Funimation has some special news going on. It came out July 4th. They have announced that during their Anime Expo, they required the rights to Howl and 009 Re-Cyborg. And Funimation also acquired the streaming rights for Hyperdimension Neptunia.
I heard about that, yes.
Yes, and the series will join Brother Conflict and Danganronpa. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. It's kind of hard to pronounce. The animation in the summer simulcast lineup. So you can look for the hybrid dimension Neptunia also with the brother conflict and the Dangan Ronpa.
I almost want to play through the first Hyper Neptunia game just so I can compare it to the anime.
Yeah, I do too.
Just for comparative sake, because I haven't played any of that franchise. And I'm a big fan of JRPGs.
Yes.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? So yeah, those are some big news. And there's also another thing that Funimation announced. They announced a release date for the One Piece movie that's coming out. It's called One Piece Strong World, and the movie will be released on Blu-ray DVD combo and also on DVD on November 19th. So, One Piece fans, here's your moment to go get your film on November 19th. So that's what Funimation announced at the Anime Expo. And like I was saying, this Anime Expo, it's going on right now. Like I said, it started on July 4th. It's ending the 7th. What an Anime Expo is about. It's about a bunch of nerdy things that all go on.
A lot of cosplay.
Yes, lots of cosplay, lots of panels, lots of anime screenings, bunch of stuff.
Buyable artwork, things like that.
They also have like AMV competitions and stuff like that. So if you've never been to one, I would definitely say, especially if you are into anime and stuff, definitely check one out, you know.
Or you can wait for Comic-Con.
Or, I'm glad you said that, or you can wait and go to PokeCon. PokeCon is coming up. It's coming up soon. This month, it'll be July 19th through the 21st, and you can still pre-register for it up until the 18th of July. So, if you want to pre-register, you know, yes, do, because PokeCon, they have a lot of stuff going on.
And,
oh, did you see what I did there? Yes, that just happened.
And you can cosplay as a Hitmonlee.
Hitmonlee.
And kick people in the face.
But yeah, there's a lot of different voice talents that are going to be there. There's bands that are going to be there. There's some media people. Just to give you a couple of voice talents that are going to be there, there's Eric Stewart, who plays James in the Pokemon series. Also, Stuart Zagnit, who is Professor Oak.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Veronica Taylor, who plays Ash. And Bella Hudson, who plays Monkey D. Luffy. Just kidding.
Luffy's Loki's dad in Marvel.
Yeah. There's going to be some cosplay guests. Trixie J. Valentine, if you know who she is. And musical guests are going to be Final Weapon, Solar Bear, Worky T. Chocobo. There's also some more. And also for the media and industry, Pika Freak Rachel, Team TARDIS cosplayers, and the D20 Girls Project, and tons more for that one too. So I'll have a link for that website down in the info box as well. We will have a link down there. So you can check out what's going on. Maybe you want to pre-register. Maybe you are excited to go to PokeCon.
Or, better than cosplaying as a Hitmonlee, you can get a whole team together and you can cosplay as a Steelix or a Gyarados.
Oh, there you go.
You can have like 5 people lined up for like 20 feet to be a life-sized Gyarados or Steelix.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
You say that would be great now, but if you were trying to navigate your way through there, this 20-foot long suit might not
work out so well.
But it'd be great if there's like, I don't know what kind of convention center they're in, but if there's like a second story on it, and you could see this giant Steelix
they like form a staircase, like in the movie. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we could go on. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, so if you're in the area or you're going to travel because you just love PokeCon, check it out. And really, that's all that's going on with anime. You know, you can go on the Anime Expo website, which we'll have down in the info section as well, and you can kind of see what's going on for today and tomorrow and kind of check it out. Maybe you want to go next year, so you'll have an idea of what goes on at Anime Expos. So yeah, we'll have that down there. Alright, and last but not least, we have a couple bits of book news. Like I said, there's really, well, there's not a lot going on. It was all anime, like, just piled up in one.
Well, it makes sense, right? Anime Expo?
Anime Expo.
It's kind of like E3, it was nothing game stuff.
Right. And then there was not a whole lot going on. But anyways, so book news. The Crucible Star Wars book is coming out July 9th. It's by Troy Denning. So if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely pick that one up. And also there's another book coming out called Excommunication. It's by Peter Kleins. And it's about these heroes that go and they save the last of humans in Los Angeles area. And they kind of form this, like, colony. They form this community. And there's a lot of refugees that end up going there. But then one of the heroes starts to lose his mind. And there's this really big bad guy called Legion. And he uses zombies to, like, do his bidding. He uses the zombies as his pawns.
Like, does he mind control them, or...?
I don't know. You might have to read the book to find that one out.
Nah.
He uses the zombies as his pawns, and then there's also this bigger enemy in the midst that is going to wreak havoc and
So
try
it's
to
like
get his revenge.
Post-apocalyptic kind of book.
Seems like it, yes. So if you're definitely into the post-apocalyptic worlds and stuff, it might be one that you want to check out. Like I said, it's called Excommunication by Peter Kleins. And
the main bad guy is Legion from Mass Effect. It's good to know he's finding work post ME3.
Anyway, so yeah, that's all I have for book news and anime news, and there was a whole lot of anime going on.
So, that was our video. Thank you for watching. Over the upcoming week, we have a review for the first season of Defiance, which will be concluding Monday, in case you were curious on watching it. And yeah, that's that. So, thank you for watching. Alright, subscribe box up in that corner, right over Sarah's head. And then over mine is the mystery box, and in the mystery box, you click it, and you'll be sent to a random video somewhere out in the interwebs, and you will like it.
You will like it.
You will like it.
You will like it.